Hey everyone, my name is Paul from Fried Candle, and this is Fried Candle Behind the Scenes. Okay, so today it's Monday. It's the last day before the deadline of my job interview assignment thingy, but something happened today. So if you guys maybe heard in the news, probably not, because our news typically doesn't really go abroad that much. But yeah, I live in the Netherlands, and today there was, at first they thought a terrorist attack, but later, let's just say they don't really know what the motivations were, but some guy shut up a tram, and tram are like small trains that run on the streets. So one guy opens fire inside of a tram, kills 3 people, and wounds another 5. So yeah, that happens. And if something like this happens, I always get really focused because I really want to know what's happening and if I'm safe and stuff. And the thing is that this happened in my city. I live in Utrecht, it's the city in the center of the Netherlands, and this happened over here. It's only maybe 10 minutes away from my house. Well, the city isn't that big, so everything is close, but it's only about a 10-minute bike ride from my house. So the weird thing was I brought my girlfriend to the station because she was going home, and I biked back. There's like a mosque I pass if I go home. And there was a police car outside with police with body armor on. So I was like, okay, maybe precautions for New Zealand's stuff happening here. That's pretty nice of them. So when I got home, I was like, maybe see what's going on. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe they do this throughout the whole country because maybe I don't know. Maybe there was some threat or something. So I go on the news website and it's like shooting happened in the tram. We don't rule out any terrorist attack. So I was like, wait, what? So this happened around when I was outside, maybe a little early. So I get home, and when these things happen, as I said earlier, I really get focused on what's happening right now. What can I do? What can't I do? When they're still investigating everything, they raised the terrorist emergency level from 4 to 5, which means they give emergency personnel like police and stuff full range to do anything they want. Nothing is stopping them from doing any sort of investigation or stuff. So they raided several houses. They arrested some people. They're still looking for the guy. That's what's the most scary thing. He's still out there. Also, they told everyone in the city to stay inside. Don't go outside if you don't need to. Don't come to the city. Don't come close to the crime scene. Just stay inside, stay put. I was lucky that I didn't have to go anywhere because I gave away my shift, so because I needed to work on the level design thing. With this on my head, I cannot really work on that, so I was glued to the website where they live streamed the whole news broadcast. So they're still looking for this guy, but it's still really scared that stuff like this happens so close to me. So after some while, I finally got around to work on this on the level design because I just shut it all off. And I was like, okay, now I'm going to work on these things. I can't not work on this stuff because I need to. It needs to be done tomorrow, so I want to finish it this evening, prep the mail so I can email them as soon as I wake up tomorrow. Oh, a little update. The police revoked their statement from earlier that we are not allowed to go outside. They did this because they thought that there were shootings happening in multiple parts of the city, but it turns out it happened only at that one spot. We're released, we can go outside. I can go do groceries because I need to get some food. Okay, so it's a couple days later now. Just an update on the whole attack that happened. They found a guy later today around dinner time. They arrested him, and they arrested some other guys too. They're still investigating what his motives were and stuff, so yeah, it all ended happily. So that's nice. For the rest of this video, I wanted to do something a little bit different. I do have time to work on the game right now, the running game, but I ran again against a lot of walls in developing it. So I thought it would be fun to show you the level I designed for my internship assignment, how I create documents and stuff like that. So let's jump to the computer. Okay, so this is the document I created for that interview. It's an area design for Apex Legends. I designed it so it could be placed anywhere on the map because, as you might know, most Battle Royale games have smaller, interesting areas on a bigger map. So those are usually the little towns and stuff. So I created something like that. I called it Ice Lake. It's a research facility on top of a lake with 3 bridges and 1 zipline connecting to it. I researched a lot of the characters because I wanted to know if there were any characters with unique movement abilities and stuff. And then I found out that Pathfinder could make his own ziplines from point A to point B. So I made one building in the east here with a Pathfinder survey beacon because he also can use survey beacons to find the next ring in the map. So I made it building to the east so he has a clear sight or some sort of shortcut to that building. Because if he was here to loot and maybe revive a teammate, he can go there and see where the next ring is. I thought it was pretty cool. At first I had the normal zipline going through there, But then I was like, oh, Pathfinder can make his own, so why have a zipline over there? I wanted to include a zipline for the rest of the character. I decided to make this a high tier loot zone. So the loot that's in here is very high tier. It's the best loot in the game. And there are also a ton of loot crates around, or supply bins, 3 in the center and 2 in buildings close to it on the bridges. One thing I maybe could improve is the detail of the map, because it's not really detailed enough in my opinion. If you zoom in, yeah, there are some stuff on the bridges, but it's not really defined. But I was thinking, if I was designing something for a battle royale game, it's more, I want it to be more high level and more conceptual or stuff. So I hope they agree with that. But yeah, one thing with the 3 bridges is that some characters have abilities that use up an area of effect. Maybe a smoke screen, or you have the Nox guy with his deadly gases, and there is a character that can deploy dome shields. And if you have narrow corners and small bridges, these abilities have more effect. So if you put a smoke screen on this bridge right here, the whole bridge is going to be smoked out. So you have a nice cover for that. And also if you put a dome shield over there, it also covers up the whole bridge. So I thought that was pretty interesting too. The rest of it is a pretty standard document. I usually make them more visual than this, but I wanted to have a big image of the map below to show what I designed, and then on top there's a text explaining it. You can pause the video if you want to read it. And then last but not least, I put a respawn point in the middle of it, so it's a quite open area. It's a big lake, so there's not much foliage or stuff around it. So it's a really risky place to revive your character, but it's a high risk, high reward kind of situation. If you go up there to revive your teammate, you also have access to a lot of good loot. And if you're Pathfinder, you can have a nice escape route of the facility. That's what I came up with. I hope you guys like it. If you have any questions about any of the design level, let me know in the comments down below. I will happily answer them. In my last video, as in all my videos before that, I always ask you guys to send me any questions if you have any. And Tons of Han Studios came through again with another question, and he said, congrats on the job assignment, hope you finish the last one and get the job. As for the question, I would like to know how you do get in the zone for developing. For me, I like to work in either library or collaboration room at college, and I put on some lo-fi music. I was wondering what kind of development environment you like. Thanks for the question. For me, I work really good under deadlines, so which is really hard to replicate if you're working for yourself. Let's say for this for the job assignment thingy, I could just get up really early and work on it, because I knew I had limited time to do it. If I mess this up, I don't get the job. And the same for when I was still in school. If I know I have a deadline, I work way better than if I don't have a deadline. And I'm still finding out how I can replicate it for myself, because sometimes I just slack off and watch YouTube for way too long, and I don't like that. But I like what you say about working in libraries, because I think that could be the way, my cheat to start working, because in the library you cannot really slack off. I think if I go to a library or another public place, maybe some coffee shop or something, I can get some work done. So how I get in the zone is just, I sit here at my desk, this is my room. I'm really big on time tracking, so I put on my time tracking software, so I see it at the top of my screen that I'm working on this right now. I also have another program that logs everything I do on my computer, so it logs every program that's open for how long it's open, and even in my browser it logs how long each tab is open, so I can see which websites I browse for how long. And that's really confronting to see at the end of the week, to see how you've done. So that's also a nice way to reflect on your behaviors, because I'm really bad at that. I need to discipline myself. And the thing with music, I just put on music I like. Sometimes I do have a playlist also with lo-fi music, or just chill, vapor wavy kind of music. Otherwise, this music I like. What I unfortunately cannot do is listen to podcasts. I really like podcasts, and I would like to listen to them while I'm working. But if I'm programming, I cannot have someone talking English to me in my ear. Because program is also mainly in English, so I get the two mixed up and I cannot focus on what I'm doing. Listening to music in my own room, and if I have a deadline, that helps a lot too. So now I'm curious, what do you guys, the rest of the people, what do you guys do to get in the zone of development or any other work you like to do? Leave me in the comments down below. And if you have any other questions, you can also leave them in the comments down below. Oh, and one more thing, how I get in the zone is also making these videos. With these videos, you guys actually keep me accountable for making stuff. For me, I need to upload every week. If I don't do that, I failed myself, so I need to upload something every week, and I force myself to upload every week, which makes me productive every day, which leads to getting stuff done. As for this week, I showed you the level design, so I did something productive in my field. So these videos are also one way to keep me accountable to be more productive and get in the zone, because I work on the deadlines. Okay, so while editing, I found out that I didn't shoot any outro for this video. So it's really late right now. It's almost 12. It's still Saturday technically, but when this video gets up, it's Sunday in my time zone. So yeah, if you like this video, please click like down below. If you want to see more of these kinds of videos, please subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. Also click the bell button because that's apparently important now. And see you guys next Saturday. Goodbye.